Hi, welcome to High Growth with HTDC. I'm your host, Cindy Matsuki, and we're here on the ThinkTech Hawaii streaming channel. So HTDC is the state's high-tech development corporation, and we support tech, innovation, entrepreneurship, and manufacturing in Hawaii. And there's so many awesome things in Hawaii that a lot of people don't know about, and I don't even know about, so I'd like to share them on this show. So before we meet our awesome guest, I have some short announcements. This month's Wetware Wednesday is the 28th. And Wetware Wednesday is our monthly networking event for software engineers and developers. And this month's event is going to be at Gordon Biersch, and it's sponsored by Hawaii Open Data. We're going to be featuring Hack to the Future 2, which is a civic hackathon where you kind of learn some basics of hacking, and then you go through like a quick, more like a hackathon where you build something. And then we'll also talk about Geek Meet. So join us on the 28th for Wetware Wednesday. Another thing we wanted to announce is WeFishency. WeFishency is a new website, and they're launching their new site this Thursday, the 22nd. It's going to be live, and here is a short commercial to kind of explain what WeFishency is.
Every day, nonprofit organizations in our communities do good, feeding the hungry, caring for our kupuna, teaching our students. Imagine if we could help them do better. What if there was a way to magically provide them more resources so they can do even more to make our communities stronger? Now there is, and it's not magic, it's called WeFishency. Blue Planet's WeFishency platform unlocks the power of energy efficiency for nonprofits. All it takes is us to help them get there. So how does this all work? We know that energy is expensive, and too many nonprofits are stuck using old lights, old air conditioners, or inefficient equipment in their buildings. They end up spending a lot more on electricity than they need to. This is where we can help. When you loan money to your favorite WeFishency project, it goes to pay for new equipment that will help the nonprofit use less energy right away. Once there are enough supporters like you to fund the project, the energy upgrades are installed by a professional energy contractor. The nonprofit will immediately see a reduction on their electricity bills, and they can use those savings to pay you back. What will you do with the money you get back? It's up to you. You can recycle it into another WeFishency project, donate it, or put it back in your pocket. It's simple. Your support will help nonprofits to spend less on energy bills and more on things that really matter. And you can help without spending a cent. Thank you for your generosity. Visit WeFishency.org to start helping your favorite nonprofits today.
Very cool. So their site is launching this Thursday, May 22nd. So you can start donating. Well, it's actually not donating. I think it sounds more like a microloan, like a crowdfunding, where you actually get paid back on their savings. And then it's like the gift that keeps on giving because they keep saving money. So it's a great idea. Go check it out at wefishency.org. Lastly, I would like to call all SBIR Phase 1 winners. HTDC offers the state's matching grant where we can match up to 50% of your Phase 1 award. So if that's you, please contact us at sbir@htdc.org. And how great is it that my next guest, their company actually won a Phase 1 and got the matching grant? Well, they should be soon. So today, my guest, I have Daniel Burris from Pacific Rim Defense.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. So Memorial Day is coming up next week, and we thought we'd feature a great veteran-owned company. And Pacific Rim Defense is a service-disabled, veteran-owned small business.
Yes, they are.
So, and congratulations on your SBIR win.
Thank you very much.
Does that give you kind of like a bonus points for?
Personally, yeah, it gives me a little pat on the back.
Very good. So what is Pacific Rim Defense? I haven't heard of Pacific Rim Defense.
Pacific Rim Defense, as you mentioned, is a service-disabled veteran small business.
Mm-hmm.
And we are a defense contracting company. We do a number of things, including fleet energy management of the surface ships at Pearl Harbor. We have this SBIR, which is also involved in the ship energy consumption. A number of other contracts, including logistical support in the Philippines, and a couple of other different Department of Defense contracts.
Wow. You guys have been kind of under the radar.
We will be growing. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be under the radar for too much longer.
Good. How big is the company now?
The company now is about 25 employees, but there's definitely growth in the future. We're looking at expanding our offices and hiring quite a few more employees
Great.
shortly here.
Great. What kind of people are you hiring or looking for?
We are currently looking for another fleet energy manager, somebody with a Navy background, specifically engineering. Looking for a couple of other HR people, accounting people, kind of a broad spectrum, really.
Oh, good. That's great. How long has the company been around?
The company was founded by Bob Boudreau in 2010,
Oh,
and has been
not
growing
that
ever
long
since.
ago.
Not that long ago, no.
Wow.
He's already made some big steps in getting his foot in the door with a number of different contracts.
Definitely. Do you know what his secret is? I mean, that's pretty good for...
He's just a pretty interesting guy. He knows a lot of people. You know, he can really introduce himself and make friends pretty quickly. And he's also very knowledgeable in the industry. He was in the Navy for quite a long time. He was in the defense contracting industry as a project manager and business develop.
After his
After his Navy career, he was a reserve. He was in the reserves. And then after the September 11th attacks, he was called back into the Navy, so he served for 7 more years.
Wow.
And then decided to start his own business.
Wow. That's great. Huh. That's amazing. I mean, and just to keep going like that too after he's had almost 2 careers.
He has, yeah. He puts
That's
a
great.
lot of time into the company.
And did he do any service in Hawaii? Is that how he ended
He
up
did.
here?
That's how he came to Hawaii. And it's easy to fall in love with the place. He has family here, so he decided to keep his business here.
Oh,
and
great. That's great.
Should be here.
And how did you get to Pacific Rim Defense?
I got to Pacific Rim Defense through being on a contract previously that was absorbed by Pacific Rim Defense.
Oh.
So I met Bob about 2 years ago, and the rest is history, I guess.
Okay. So you were working for a smaller company that was doing the same thing?
I was working for a mainland company that was doing the same thing. The contract with the mainland company expired, and Pacific Rim Defense won the new contract, and I kind of came along with them with the
Nice.
contract.
That's nice.
But everything worked out pretty well for everybody.
No, that is good. So specifically, what do you do? Like, how does the fleet energy
Fleet Energy Manager.
manager, how does that work?
There are the surfer ships at Pearl Harbor, the fleet, and also in San Diego. The fleet energy managers are in charge of raising awareness on the ships in terms of energy consumption, working with the crew on ways to save energy, training them, collecting data from them, and sharing it with leaders of the Navy so they can make informed decisions as to how to operate the ships and technology to install. I'm also working on the SBIR, which is a little bit different, but it's also involved in the Navy energy. And in that we are developing a software which will help the Navy to make informed decisions on saving energy. Based on different operational changes that sailors could do, speed of advance, that sort of thing, temperature settings within the ship, as well as allowing acquisition managers to decide which new technologies to purchase and install or equipment to upgrade.
So since they're surface ships, are they able to do like sustainable energy generation on the ship?
There's currently no sustainable energy generation on the ship. We're really more focusing on efficiency,
Okay.
using
How do
less of the
they-
energy.
Where does their energy come from? Like-
The energy in the ships comes from fuel that's from the ships.
Okay.
Some of it's used to propel a ship forward, and some of it is used to create electricity. It's used to keep the lights on and the air conditioners on, and so forth.
I see. Is there any thoughts on going in that direction?
There's the initiative to use biofuels in the ships. The Navy demonstrated that in the last RIMPAC 2 years ago. And
great.
the biofuels were a success, and there will be future biofuel efforts to sail the Great Green Fleet. So they are using biofuels.
What is the Great Green Fleet?
The Great Green Fleet is a fleet of ships that will be deployed using biofuels.
Oh,
and
from
other-
Hawaii?
Around the world, not from Hawaii, no.
Huh.
So it'll use biofuels and other green initiatives to really increase energy efficiency.
Interesting. And they're active ships, so they're...
Active ships, yes. It is exciting.
That is exciting. And you guys are involved with that too?
Through being the fleet energy manager, yeah.
That'd be some interesting data. How did the SBIR get started?
The SBIR,
Is that with the Navy?
that is with the Navy. Pacific Rim Defense won the Phase 1 contract. We're currently in the process of creating the Phase 2 initial proposal.
Great.
And we're really excited. We think that there's lots of room for the SBIR to really make a difference in the way the Navy views energy. And you know, it's kind of on our shoulders to be able to take it to the next level.
Were you able to get any results from your Phase 1, or
Not yet,
how
no.
far along?
The Phase 1 was really just kind of initial outline, you know, a layout of how the software is going to work, where the data is going to come from, how it's going to flow, what the final results are going to be, and that sort of thing. So we presented to the Navy in Philadelphia last month. Things went well. We're hoping for the Phase 2 contract. And in the Phase 2 portion, we will actually create a prototype that will give some results and tell us how much energy will be saved based on different technology insertions or operational changes.
That's great. And is it something that has to be integrated into their existing system?
It will be integrated into the existing systems. Yep, that's one of the hurdles we're facing right now is how to integrate that into the system without breaking any kind of security rules and that sort of thing.
And so it's going to take all different kinds of input from the ship's system?
It will. It'll have fuel flow inputs. It'll have electrical demand inputs, speed, maybe even temperature of the seawater and the air.
Oh, interesting.
And then, you know, price of new equipment. And
so does it put together, like using an algorithm or something to kind of help people make those decisions?
One big algorithm, it's all put together. So somebody on the ship will be able to say, usually we'll be traveling at 14 knots. What would happen if we just reduced that to 13 knots? The software will give them a result of how many barrels they would save doing that. It would also allow somebody on shore to say, if we upgraded from the standard light bulbs to LED light bulbs, how much energy would the ship save throughout the year?
Oh, I see. So it kind of gives the ship a baseline to start off with.
It gives the ship a baseline and kind of gives people the information needed to make decisions.
That's interesting. That's great. We're going to take a quick break. This is High Growth with HTDC, and my guest today is Daniel Burris from Pacific Rim Defense. And I'm Cindy Matsuki, your host, and we'll be right back.
I'm Hong Jiang, host for Asia in Review on Tuesdays.
And I'm David Day, host for Asian Review on Thursdays. Both of us broadcast our respective shows at 4 p.m.
And my topics tend to deal with questions related to environment, culture, history, and sometimes human rights.
And my shows tend to be on international business, foreign policy, geopolitics, and national security. And you can watch our shows live on the ThinkTech website at thinktechhawaii.com.
And you can also watch us on YouTube or Olalo.
So come join us on Thursdays at 4 p.m. I'm David Day.
And on Tuesdays at 4 p.m., I'm Hong Jiang.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Hi, welcome back. This is High Growth with HTDC. I'm your host, Cindy Matsuki. My guest today is Daniel Burris from Pacific Rim Defense. And they are trying to help our government, specifically the Navy at Pearl Harbor, to save money on energy with their software. And I guess services.
And services.
Software
Correct.
and services. Very cool. So they are wrapping up a Phase 1 SBIR on a software to help make smart energy decisions. And I know that SBIRs, the part of the end goal is to commercialize your technology. So is that your goal? Like, is there?
That is our goal, to be able to install the technology not only on Navy ships, but also on Coast Guard ships, cruise ships, tugboats, any kind of ship that they're all using energy. So if we can help all of the managers make informed energy decisions, everybody wins.
And does it run across like the whole fleet?
It will, hopefully, yes, if
Potentially?
everything goes well. It could be installed on every ship on the fleet, all different classes, and across all different acquisition managers.
So
On the shore.
basically, the commander, I guess, can get all the information and make like a
That's
across
the goal.
the board
Yeah,
decision.
we're hoping for that to be the end result. Yeah, and to be
Wow.
able to, like I said, implement it on all
Yeah.
different types of ships.
Okay.
So it's lofty goals, but
No,
I think
that's
we've got
great.
a good
That's-
start, and we're working on
Yeah.
it. We have a good chance.
That sounds useful.
Hmm.
Is there any other applications besides ships that you could use the software for?
At this time, we haven't looked at going anywhere other than the ships. It could
Mhm.
be used on, I guess, cars or airplanes or whatever, but right now
Mhm.
it's just
Mhm.
focusing on the ships.
Oh, very cool. And what else does Pacific Rim do? I mean, is this the focus is on energy efficiency or?
That's where I focus most of my time. Pacific Rim Defense does a number of other things, really. One of the big projects is logistical support for the Army in the Philippines. We do testing of different equipment in California.
Like new equipment?
New equipment, some field equipment, solar panels, also energy
Oh.
that the Army is going to be using.
Mm-hmm.
So Pacific Rim Defense tests those, make sure the technology is solid, and then reports back to the Department of Defense.
Well, that's interesting. And do you have field people that actually test it in the field?
Hmm. Up in California. I'm not really part of that project, but
Mhm.
I know that they do take the equipment and test it out in the desert and make sure it works, and then
Ah, interesting.
mhm.
And what can we look for next with Pacific Rim Defense?
Hopefully we can look for phase 2 on our
Mhm.
SBIR. We would love
Great.
to expand our Fleet Energy Manager program to Guam, Japan, as well as the East Coast.
Mm-hmm. Does that mean you're expanding offices too?
We hopefully will be
Potentially?
expanding offices, potentially, yeah.
Where are your current offices?
Our current office is in Pearl City.
Mm-hmm.
I personally work on Pearl Harbor most of the time, so we're pretty close, but the office is close to Pearl Harbor in Pearl
Mhm.
City.
And then, so do you have offices in the other countries where you work in the Philippines, or you just have people?
Not yet, just people. We're looking to expand,
Okay.
like I said, but right now we're just stationed in Pearl City.
Great. So when you talked about expanding, is that here in Hawaii?
Here in Hawaii, and we're hoping to expand around the Pacific Rim and carry the Hawaii flag and
That's
kind
great.
of, show what a Hawaii company can do
Yeah. that
in
would be
Japan,
great.
in Guam, throughout the Pacific Rim, and even on the East Coast.
That sounds good. That's awesome. So, for more information, if you'd like to check out Pacific Rim, go to their website at pacificrimdefense.com. And my guest today has been Daniel Burris from Pacific Rim Defense. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much to all our viewers for supporting our entrepreneurship community. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.